Let's talk about the big one, the number that gets everyone talking. $100 for a single XRP. Sounds crazy, right? For years it's been dismissed as a fantasy, a pipe dream for hopeful investors. But what if I told you the conversation is changing? What if the path to $100 XRP isn't about hype, but about a fundamental rewiring of the global financial system? Forget everything you think you know about crypto bull runs, because we're not talking about retail FOMO. We're talking about a tsunami of institutional demand, the likes of which the world has never seen. So, stick with me as we break down the real-world catalysts that could turn this $100 dream into a tangible reality. First, let's get grounded. XRP has had a wild ride, with epic highs and frustrating lows. The market sentiment can swing wildly, and it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day price action. But to understand the $100 potential, we need to zoom out and look beyond the charts. We're looking at a future driven not by speculation, but by utility. The key concept here is unprecedented demand, and it's coming from a source far bigger than individual crypto traders. This demand is being built on two massive pillars that are set to redefine finance as we know it. The first pillar is something you're going to hear a lot more about: real-world asset tokenization, or RWA. This is the multi-trillion-dollar catalyst. Imagine everything of value in the real world: the house you live in, the gold in a vault, the rights to a hit song, a priceless piece of art, even a forest. Now imagine converting the ownership of these assets into digital tokens on a blockchain. That's RWA tokenization. It's not just a concept, it's happening right now. Why is this such a big deal? Because it shatters the old, slow and expensive ways of buying, selling and trading assets. Think about selling a house. It involves lawyers, agents, banks, and weeks, if not months, of paperwork. Tokenizing that property would allow for near instantaneous, secure transfer of ownership with a fraction of the cost and complexity. The same goes for commodities like oil or soybeans, or even intellectual property like movie rights. This technology unlocks liquidity for assets that have traditionally been difficult to trade, creating a market potentially worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. Now, where does XRP fit into this picture? To move this colossal amount of value around the globe, you need a digital ledger that is incredibly fast, cheap, and scalable. The XRP ledger was built for exactly this purpose. It can handle thousands of transactions per second for a tiny fraction of a cent. It's designed for high-value, high-volume settlement, making it a prime candidate to become the foundational settlement layer for this new tokenized world. When trillions of dollars in real estate, art, and commodities start moving as tokens, they'll need a network that can handle the load. The XRP ledger stands ready. Now for the second pillar, which is already in motion: the institutional tsunami in cross-border payments. For decades, sending money across borders has been a nightmare. It's slow, expensive, and opaque. You send money, it disappears into the correspondent banking system for a few days, and it pops out on the other side, minus hefty fees taken by multiple middlemen. Banks, corporations, and even governments are fed up with this archaic system. They are actively searching for a better way. And this is where XRP's core utility shines brighter than ever. Ripple, the company most associated with XRP, has been building solutions for this exact problem for over a decade. Using XRP, a bank in the US can send millions of dollars to a bank in Mexico in about 3 seconds for a cost of less than a penny. This isn't theoretical, it's practical. It eliminates the need for pre-funded Nostro Vostro accounts, freeing up trillions of dollars in trapped capital for banks around the world. We've already seen partnerships and pilot programs with major financial institutions exploring this technology. While we should always be careful about unconfirmed rumors, the direction of travel is clear. Institutions are not just dipping their toes in. They are looking for production-ready solutions to save billions and offer better services. XRP provides that solution. As more and more banks and payment providers plug into this new infrastructure, the demand for XRP as a bridge asset for these transactions will grow exponentially. This isn't retail buying. This is systemic, utility-driven demand on a global scale. So we have two massive waves of demand building: RWA tokenization and institutional cross-border payments. But there's a crucial third piece that ties it all together: the regulatory roadmap. For crypto to truly go mainstream and handle trillions of dollars, it needs clear rules and the blessing of global institutions. This is where many other crypto projects fall short, but where XRP has a unique and powerful advantage. Ripple has pursued a compliance-first strategy from the very beginning, engaging with regulators and policymakers around the world. This approach is now paying off. Look at the World Economic Forum, or WEF. They've established a digital currency governance consortium to help shape the future of global finance and regulation. And who is involved in these high-level discussions? Key players from the Ripple and XRP ecosystem. This isn't a coincidence. It's the result of years of building relationships and demonstrating a commitment to working within the system to improve it. This inside track gives XRP a massive head start. As governments and central banks create frameworks for digital assets, they will naturally favor platforms that are proven, compliant, and understood. Regulatory clarity is the green light that will allow the floodgates of institutional money to open for both RWAs and cross-border payments. And XRP is positioned perfectly at that gate, ready to become a trusted, regulated tool for the future of finance. Now let's put it all together and talk about how this leads to $100. It comes down to a classic economic principle: supply and demand. But on a scale we've never seen before. We have a fixed supply of XRP. There will only ever be 100 billion. Now consider the demand side. We have the multi-trillion-dollar RWA market needing a settlement layer. We have the quadrillion-dollar cross-border payments market shifting to a more efficient system. As these systems go live and scale up, they will need to use XRP for settlement and liquidity. This means vast amounts of XRP will be bought and utilized, not for speculation, but for function. This creates what's known as a supply shock. As more and more XRP is acquired by institutions and locked up in payment channels and liquidity pools to facilitate these massive new markets, the amount of XRP available for purchase on the open market will shrink dramatically. So you have a fixed and effectively decreasing circulating supply, met with an exponentially increasing utility-driven demand from the largest financial players in the world. What happens when colossal demand chases a shrinking supply? The price is forced to find a new equilibrium, and it has to go up. A lot. When you're settling trillions of dollars in value daily, the price of the asset used for that settlement can't be just a few cents, or even a few dollars. The math simply doesn't work. The value of each token must be high enough to facilitate these large transactions efficiently. So, is $100 XRP a dream? Maybe. But it's not a dream based on hype or wishful thinking. It's a plausible scenario based on the convergence of technological innovation, massive real-world utility, institutional adoption, and regulatory alignment. The pieces are all moving into place for a perfect storm that could redefine the value of XRP and its role in the global economy. The journey there won't be a straight line, but the destination is looking more and more like a calculated possibility. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of finance. Let me know your thoughts on XRP's potential in the comments below. If you missed it, check out the Jake Claver domino theory video after this one. It demonstrates how things are starting to go in motion. See you in the next one.